Hey, what's up? Many of you have seen the equals sign in the teaser trailer for the next Training Equals Rehab installment. And I'm not going to be so presumptuous that my typical cryptic posts are crystal clear to everybody. I think it's cool. I think other people will think it's cool. But you know, if you're not familiar, the equals is for T equals R, which was originally called the first DVD from 2009. It was released in 2010. Was Rehab equals training, training equals rehab. That's actually what it was called, a new language, and it became T equals R, and that was a seminar series. We filmed the second one I ever did for Equinox, where the mandate was to come up with this 3-day seminar that bridges the gap between personal training and physical therapy. And that's actually the words that were on the first title slide. And I've since, I think many people know, I absolutely despise that terminology, bridge the gap, largely because I can think of a couple people that regularly use that terminology, and I think their messages are so offensive and just intentionally confusing people, and just very, very poor information. I really feel that way. And I went on in 2009, even though that was on the title slide, I went on to say that the thing that there is no gap. And I think that's what makes this message of people that have rehab skills and people that have training skills working together from this clinical model. It's not just two people working together. It's not having a meeting in the morning and you whiteboard, and it's not this handoff. I was consulting for a company once, and they're like, Charlie, tell us what you think about the handoff, because they wanted to do physical therapy and training in the same facility. I'm like, there is no handoff. They're training from day one. They're rehabbing from day one. You're just calling it different things because someone with a different specialty is the primary clinician, but it's all one thing. Like, there is no gap. And I think that's something that's going to make what I'm doing very, very different, where even including in this next series, it's a lot of training protocols. Some of them we began to talk about in 2016, released in 2017 with T equals R3. And basically what was, I don't know, a couple hours is now going to be 12 hours. But whereas I'm not the owner of any information, I give credit to Val and Pavel significantly. I've said many times that the closest thing to the stuff that I talk about is strong endurance, which is one of Pavel's courses. Unfortunately, I don't think it's online, but I do have the manual on my nightstand. I haven't read it in a little bit, but maybe I'll start again. The information that we extend into is basically, though, how these training approaches are attacking the exact things that lead us to changes in motor control, that lead us to tissue failure, that lead us to things that then necessitate a physical therapist or a chiropractor or orthopedic surgeon, etc., to intervene. Because if you train this way, we are targeting adaptations that minimize or negate or marginalize, at least, a lot of the things that you will see as common predispositions to common injuries. So it's keep an eye on that equal sign. It means something maybe different than what you think. Here, actually, before I go, here's another story. I had a young coach out in California, and he messaged me. Individual had fairly significant knee surgery, and I'm like, people don't really get that type of knee surgery anymore. But anyway, he was asking about, the athlete had asked him about PEDs, and there's some peptides, and he basically was asking, are these going to help? I'm like, of course they're going to help. Like, it was BPC or CJ, and these are things that really work, and they're also pretty much against the rules of every professional sport. So I'm like, do not. Like, you could talk to me, like, I'm not sure I'm an expert, but I know enough to say, yeah, I've heard of that, and I think it works, based on information of people that take it. Because I've taken BPC, never taken CJ, and I said, like, what's going on here? Like, this doesn't make any sense that he's still having these types of issues 7, 8, 9 months after surgery. And I said, like, well, where are we at with the physical therapy? And the coach said, I have a very good relationship with the physical therapist. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. So the therapists suck and you just get along with him. And he goes, yeah, that's kind of it. I'm like, T=R is not about getting along with people that have different skill sets. It's taking two skill sets and putting them into recognition of one complete set under one complete gap analysis. So that when we would always say in Canada basketball, the person who has the skills is the one that moves up to the front. The system decides who is in charge. So if the system is as complete and as full and as keen of an evaluation as possible, then the system calls upon someone that has the proper education and the proper skills to intervene in that levels of prioritization. That's the equal sign, guys. That's what I'm getting across. There's nothing like this. I try really hard to not say things like that, but I think when this comes out, it'll be worth every penny and every minute that you watch, and for whatever it is that you wind up paying for it, because of course there'll be an early bird and then there's a list that'll come out. But what decide, if you work in a setting where you actually can create a mini business plan. Remember, businesses in America, if you make 10%, you're like a killer business. So if you pay $1, I hope you're going to make $1.10. I think that would be a very good way to judge the quality of this work. I hope equal sign makes sense to you. How it gets packaged, that'll definitely make sense.